Welcome parents and players of Zeeland East Soccer to this virtual parent meeting. I appreciate your flexibility already at the beginning of the season. Just with the rising number of cases of COVID, we had to cancel our in-person meeting and make this virtual. I will try to be clear, concise, honor your time. I know you don't want to be on here for 30 minutes, but I do think it's very important to have our standards and our expectations laid out right away. I heard this from a coach, and it always stuck with me, the idea of be tough on standards, not people. And if we don't have standards in place, then it can seem like we're just being really tough on people. But yet, if we have the standard and we know the expectation, then we can hold people accountable to that. So a big part of this meeting is just to talk about player and parent and coach communication standards and just expectations for the season. I'll go ahead and share my screen with you, which is something you've probably heard many times throughout COVID and Zoom. All right, for starters, I wanted you to be able to see and meet our coaching staff. We've got Coach Olmos. Coach Olmos came to us from Allendale, and we're really excited to have him part of the program. He teaches Spanish at our high school. He also helped out with the middle school programs. And then we've got Coach G, a prior captain of mine, my very first year of coaching. She was a senior and she's finishing up her schooling, and she is also at Holland Christian. They both do Spanish, Coach Olmos and Coach G. So if they ever want to talk bad about me, just do it in Spanish. But that's our varsity coaching staff. Myself, my beautiful wife, you'll see her around too, Jory, and then Coach O and Coach G. In terms of our JV program, we have JV head coach Marsh, as well as our JV assistant coach Lincoln. I'm really excited to welcome them back again. Marsh and I have been together for this is 3 years now, and Coach Lincoln is also going to school at Grand Valley and getting her master's in education. Our middle school coaching staff, we've got a great crew there. We have Coach Gordillo in the 8th grade, and then Coach Good and Coach Timmer. They are going to be head coaching together of the 7th grade. So tons of experience there, all part of Zeeland. Really excited to have this really quality coaching staff all with us. New again this year is the OK Green Conference. Some of you might ask who is in that. If you've played fall or winter sports, you're already used to it. But we've got Holland, and then we've got some of the Muskegon schools. So Mona Shores, Muskegon, and Reese Puffer. And then some schools out a little bit more toward Grand Rapids of Union and Wyoming. And then right next to us here, obviously, we've got Zeeland West. I also included our district information. We're District 18. And that location, we play at Holland, beautiful field, love that field. But you can see our district there, solid, good competition. So we'll definitely have our work cut out for us for districts. We are, I guess, reigning district champs because we haven't played in over a year. So last time we kicked the soccer ball was a tough loss to Spring Lake in the regional semifinal. All right, in regards to just kind of our parent and coach communication standards, that's what we've got the rest of this way, as well as then we'll finish talking about the quality car wash. Thank you, Lisa Westra, for your help on this. But I've linked this here, so let's go ahead and look at that. This is the main part of the meeting, and this is where I'll try to be clear and concise. So here's our guidelines. I'm not going to read every single word on here because obviously you're going to have this document, but I do think it's really important to talk about some of it. And so first thing is going to be social media, emails, all those things. You've heard me say this before if you've been to a parent meeting. Herm Edwards has said this on TV a lot, NFL coach, but it stuck with me. The whole idea of just don't press send. All right. If you are in a heightened state of emotion, if you don't know if you should send it, just don't press send, like period. Don't send it. The email, the text, whatever. Also, I want to make sure parents talk to your daughters, talk to your kids about social media, about texting, about inappropriate texting or sexting, or if they're asked to send photos. It's a really challenging and tough conversation to have, but please have it. Talk to them about their value, about their worth, that they do not need to send these photos if they're being asked for them or to show any of their worth. So please take the time and have that difficult conversation. Players, I really hope that we can come together as a family, as a group. And if you're struggling with this or anything like that, you find people to talk to or our counselors. But parents, please have that tough conversation about those photos or text being sent. Also, I just want to say again, this could be social media stuff, could be against a rival, against Zealand West, but whatever. Or if you're heightened stakes, don't press send. Back of your head, don't press send. If you think that is something that you would regret later on. 24-hour rule, JV and varsity adheres to this. We do this to delay communication. And so if you're frustrated or something comes up after a practice, after a game, we're going to wait 24 hours. So if you send us an email and you don't hear from us right away, and then you send it again and again and again because you think we didn't get it, we're not going to respond for 24 hours. Just know that. I'm in favor always of direct communication. Sometimes, and you know this, like maybe like I love my wife to death, but I thought like she hated me when we first started dating because she's like a mean texter. She didn't mean to be, but like it just came across that way. So, you know, here's me trying to think about like every little word to say in a text, and then I get like a one-word response. So anyway, things don't always come across the same in an email or a text message. So I'm always a fan of face-to-face communication. And parents, I'd encourage your daughters to have those conversations. In terms of appropriate or inappropriate conversations to have, parents to have with coaches, absolutely talk to us about concern about your athlete's behavior on or off the field, their academic standing, just anything treatment-wise, social, emotional, we're here for. In terms of playing time, I'll be clear on this. I absolutely will talk about playing time to your daughter, face-to-face, directly. Parents, if you email me about playing time, or you email Coach Marsh about playing time, or any of our assistant coaches, we all have the same policy. We talk to players about it. If you want to be there right next to them, like that's fine, but I'm going to look your player in the eye, and the conversation is going to be led by the player. So yeah, we'll talk about playing time. I just don't have that conversation with parents. You're not at practice or training every single day. So we love and value your daughter, whether she plays 0 minutes or whether she plays 80. So parents, please don't email us about playing time. Have your daughter talk to us if they want, but we absolutely will have the conversation face-to-face with your daughter. Also, just tactics, strategy, things like that. We're not really going to talk about that with parents. We have a really good plan in place. Maybe you're a coach yourself. That's phenomenal. But we're not really going to talk about tactics or strategy. And a really big one is I'd encourage you, please don't coach your daughter like at home from the stands. Like don't coach somebody else's daughter. We have a specific way that we play, and it's going to take a little while to get there. We might not look very good at the beginning of the season, but I tell you what, by the end of it, we're going to look really good. So we're going to have some growing pains, and there's going to be things that we're not going to do well right away. So just trust us, trust the process, trust the staff that we have in place, and just please allow us to coach your daughter. And also don't coach someone else's kid. All right. Let's just stick to what we do best, in terms of just supporting everybody involved. For frequently asked questions, again, I'm not going to read every word on this, because you have it here, but ones that are asked right away. JV, be at the field at 4:20. If that changes, I'll have Coach Marsh let you know. Be ready to go at 4:30, right? So be at the field at 4:20 to have everything on, ready to go at 4:30. Varsity, we will meet before games, home games in my room. Note that it says be in my room at 4:45, not in the parking lot. All right, I'm really big about being on time. And so make sure you're in my room at 4:45 or earlier. And we've had that clear communication. Also, varsity, there will be times that we have walkthroughs after school on home games. I will email you and let you know. You'll get a weekly email from me. JV, you'll get one from Marsh as well. You absolutely should be at the training sessions. Try to schedule your doctor's notes, all that stuff, dental appointments. Try to schedule that outside of practice. It's really important to be there. Girls are fighting for minutes. If you have a family emergency, like obviously you're going to be excused. That's not going to be any kind of penalty. But if we're missing practices and we're not communicating, then obviously playing time, things like that are going to be affected. Please have your athlete communicate with us. We always want the athlete communicating. So parents, encourage your kids to do that. In terms of riding the bus, we almost always say to ride the bus home. It's a team thing. This year with COVID, it's a little different. Parents, if you prefer to bring your athlete to a game or from a game, like you have the ability to do that. We just need you to fill out the transportation wire. So that is linked in here. Like, we don't want players riding with other players. The school wants it to be a parent bringing a player to and from. So just know that information is there. Also, JV and varsity will be traveling separate this year. That's almost every single sport's been doing that with JV and varsity. Spectator requirements, I've been asked that a lot. It's different depending on the sport. For soccer, as of right now, it is a limit of 1,000 spectators at an event. I would love if we had 1,000 spectators at a soccer game. I would love that. So there's not really a limit per player or per family. It's just a limit of we can't go over 1,000 total. That's as of now. Who knows if it's going to change, because things change all the time. And yes, you have to have the mask. So yeah, we're outside. I get we're outside. Don't get mad at me. I don't make the rules. All right, we'll just follow them so that we can play, because last year was tough. It was really hard not being able to play. But yeah, you got to wear masks. You can see my information there, as well as Coach Marsh. Just a couple of new rules. This is a good one for girls to check that one out. ID camps. So during spring season, girls, you can participate in 2 ID camps held at a college facility. That is new. The overtime goal differential, that's more for coaches, but uniforms, home, this changed a couple years ago. I always confuse myself. Home is dark. All right. Home is dark uniform. Away is white. I will have my female assistant coach talk to the girls about this. Parents maybe can have the conversation as well. Our white uniforms, right, they're all white. So just make sure we're wearing the appropriate things underneath that, especially if it's going to rain. Varsity, we got awesome new kits, but they're thin. So Coach G or Coach Lincoln will have you talk to the teams and the girls about that. Parents, if you could do that too, just what's appropriate to wear underneath the uniforms. A couple of things so that you don't get really frustrated from the stands. There is a new rule on penalty kicks with keepers. Notice they can have 1 foot off the line. That's a new rule. You can read over that one. And then the other one, if you think coaches are crazy for not having girls in the wall or something like that, there's just a new rule. If there's more than 3 people in a wall, then the attacking team has to be a minimum of 1 yard away. So anyway, that's some of the new rules this year. All right, so just going back to, so that's going to be found here. And if it sounds like I'm going fast, I just want to honor your time, but things that are really important to me, again, face-to-face communication, 24-hour rule, just being like, don't press send if you don't know about the email or the text. Talk to your daughter about inappropriate texting, all those kind of things. If you forget anything that we mentioned, it's found in there. All right, in terms of this year, thank you, Lisa Wesher, for your work on this. Because of COVID, Hungry Howie's is no longer doing their pizza fundraiser. These 2 things that you see here are what all the girls got on Saturday. This is the quality car wash pamphlet. It explains what each of the 4 options are. And then that piece of paper just outlines how to keep track of your sales. Information can be found here. So I'll link this. Again, I'm not going to read every word to you because you have it in front of you. Unless you'd really like me to, I can read it really slowly, make this meeting as long as we can. But essentially what we have here, the big ones that I got to point out, if they're going to pay by check, make the check payable to Zeeland East. Again, make the check payable to Zeeland East. We've got spring break in here, so we're going to have this fundraiser go until April 20 to give the girls time to sell these quality car washes. The pamphlet does outline how much the percentage that comes back to Zeeland East. It equates out to 40%. So an example in there would be that if the player sells a works package, that is a 30-day unlimited package of car washes, that's $40. And then the program would receive 16. So just know that would be probably the best option, but there's other options in there that are laid out. This really helps us pay I can't run this program by myself, right? We need assistant coaches. And so this helps pay for assistant coaches. It helps pay for gear, pay for some of the kits that the girls get, some of the warm-up tops, all of that. So please fundraise, help bring money in for the program. It really helps us out and helps us have quality staff, quality apparel stuff around us. If you have questions, reach out to Lisa Westra too at gmail.com. And again, really encourage you to participate in this and help us out for the the 2021 season. I'm trying to think if I got anything else on here that I might have missed. I don't think so. So I'll wrap this up just with, if you've got any questions, reach out to me. My communication is in there. Really looking forward to a great year. Know that everything is earned, nothing is given. And not is it just about talent to me, but attitude's also really important. How you carry yourself, how you practice. This might be a message more to the girls too, but you can't just show up. Yeah, we've got a lot of talent, but we can't just show up. And if we're not going to show up in training, I'm not going to start you, or your minutes will be affected in the game. So it's about how you carry yourself on and off the field. We're still looking for leaders this year. I'm looking for people that are going to step up. But anyway, thank you for your time. I'm here to support you. We've got a great staff in place. I'll go ahead and stop this meeting here, and let's have a great 2021 soccer season. Go Chicks.